Yung Coral Triangle Initiative was agreed upon by leaders. It was led by the President of Indonesia, and along with the other leaders in the 6 countries, nagkaroon sila ng declaration, agreement, so that together they will be able to institute activities, actions that will protect the Coral Triangle. It's a cooperation among 6 countries in the Coral Triangle area, which includes the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, East Timor, Timor-Leste, Papua New Guinea, and Solomon Islands. So these are the countries that are cooperating to make sure that we protect the Coral Triangle area, because it has been identified as a rich marine biodiversity area in the whole world. And since most of the population in these areas also depend on the Coral Triangle, we're already looking at the linkages of conserving the Coral Triangle and food security for the survival of all the coastal communities and the other communities that depend on the Coral Triangle for resources.
The Coral Triangle Initiative is really still at the planning stages. It will develop over the next few years, because you can't magically develop something as ambitious as this at the scale of 6 countries overnight. So it's been developing now for the last 3 or 4 years. Moving forward, in Australia in a month's time, I'll be hosting the International Coral Reef Symposium, and there'll be 170 talks on the Coral Triangle Initiative at that symposium. And so I'm hoping we can facilitate the progression of the Coral Triangle Initiative led by the Philippines, Indonesia, and the other countries in the region.
Sa dami ng communities na nagde-depend sa Coral Triangle, syempre may mga threats that are land-based tsaka fisheries-based. So lahat ng mga ito, hindi dapat natin tinitingnan din yung political boundaries, kasi nagko-cross ng borders yung ating marine species, lalo na yung mga isda natin. So kung anong gagawin ng isang bansa sa kanyang teritoryo will impact also the fisheries at food security sa ibang countries. So hindi pwedeng isang bansa lang yung involved sa protection. Dapat sama-sama sila para mas maging effective yung conservation efforts.
When you manage a resource, nag-uumpisa ka sa tuktok, pababa. So you take into account everything that falls into play. Hindi po pwedeng yung dagat lang, kasi yung dagat, pag hindi mo tinignan yung ibabaw niyan, yung lahat na nangyayari sa ibabaw pwede maka-apekto sa baba. Ganun lang ibig sabihin nun. So ridge to reef, ibig sabihin you manage from the beginning, yung ridge mismo, yung pinanggagalingan ng tubig pababa, yung mga aquifers natin, kasama na rin yung watershed, pababa doon sa ating mga marginal land hanggang sa ating mga urban areas, hanggang makarating yun sa dagat. Di ba? Yun ang ibig sabihin nun. At sa dagat, meron ka pang 3 classification. Una muna, meron kayong mga tinatawag yung kagaya ng Hagonoy halimbawa. Ito ay brackish. Nandyan yung mga mangrove. Susunod dyan yung seagrass ecosystem. Pagkatapos dyan yung coral reef. Di ba? Tapos yung kabuuan na ng dagat. So, ibig sabihin nun, when you look at these ecosystems, you have to look at it holistically. And you have to manage the whole. Yun po yung ridge to reef system, at yun po ang pamamaraan naman na ginagamit ng BIPAR ngayon sa pagmamanage ng ating fisheries resources.
Alternative livelihoods are an important part of moving away from unsustainable fisheries. Obviously, poverty alleviation is a critical issue in many developing countries that needs to be addressed. We also need to rebuild depleted fisheries. So one way to do that is to have no-take areas. No-take areas that are set up in a portion of the seascape allow the recovery of a portion of the fish stock. When those fish partially recover inside no-take areas, they produce lots of larvae, lots of offspring, and those disperse widely through the seascape and can sustain the fishery in the broader landscape.
Ang gusto natin makamit talaga is eventually, lahat ng mga mangingisda natin ay hindi mawawalan ng trabaho. Tapos ang pagkain natin sa lamesa, gusto natin may variety, hindi yung iisang klase lang ng isda. So yun ang gusto nating mangyari kasi mga ibang areas tayo ngayon, puro na lang dikya yung nahuhuli nila, di ba? So eventually gusto natin kahit papaano ma-reverse yung ganong klaseng degradation. Siguro hindi kaya yan ng 5 years time, pero kailangan magsimula na tayo ngayon. Otherwise, kailan pa tayo magsisimula? Actually, yung mga ordinaryong mamamayan, yun lang basura eh. Yun lang, kung alam nilang i-manage yung kanilang basura, hindi sila magtatapon sa dagat. Diba? Malaking tulong na rin yun. Kasi yung mga plastic na tinatapon, alam naman natin na pagka kinain yun ng mga isda natin o yung mga pawikan natin, mga dolphins, ay kinamamatay nila yon. So, na-upset din yung balance ng karagatan. So, simpleng bagay na yun. Pollution, prevention, garbage management, malaking bagay na yun para ma-protect yung karagatan natin.
Ayun po namang hanap buhay, hindi naman po yun natin pinapabayaan. In fact, ang ginawa ho natin, wala ho tayong binawas. Yun ho mga binibigay nating suporta sa pangkabuhayan, nandun pa rin po, dinagdagan pa po natin. Yung pong suporta natin sa produksyon, nandun pa rin po, dinagdagan pa po natin. At hindi lang po doon, meron na po tayong malinaw na suporta na din ngayon pagkatapos ng produksyon, yung post-harvest. Importante po yun. At yun po, dinagdag natin at dinagdag pa rin po natin yung protection. So, wala po tayong kinalimutan, atin pong pinagpapatuloy at dinadagdagan pa. Kaya lang po, binubuo na po natin yung ating programa. Mula sa protection, rehabilitasyon, production, hanggang sa processing at marketing, nandun ho ngayon yung BIVAP.
Dapat rin, nagko-cooperate. Meron tayong convergence ngayon ng ibang national agencies para ma-implement ang Coral Triangle Action Plan natin. Ito nga, yung DNR, Department of Agriculture, tsaka yung ating DILG, ay nagko-converge lahat yan para ma-implement natin yung Coral Triangle Initiative. At may 5 major areas na kung saan dapat tayo magtulungan under the action plan. Ito yung mga seascapes, pangangalaga ng ating mga priority seascapes, pag-establish ng ating marine protected areas at saka pag-network ng marine protected areas. Tapos ang climate change, gusto natin increase yung climate change resiliency ng ating marine ecosystem. Tapos yung certain species natin important din. Kailangan pangalagaan din natin yung mga pawikan, mga dugong, mga whales, no, mga marine mammals. At saka isang mahalagang team na nililid ng Department ng Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources ay yung EAFM, yung Ecosystems Approach to Fisheries Management. Importante lang naman dito 4 na bagay. Unang-una, huwag natin pabayaang sirain ng kahit sino yung ating yaman dagat. Diba? Ganun lang naman yan. Number 1 yan. Pangalawa, kinakailangan nating masiguro na yung kalagayan ng ating dagat ay ating panglalong mapaganda. So, yung maninira, pagbabawalan natin. Yung masamang kalagayan, palalakasin natin. Kaya meron tayong pagtatanim ng ating mga bakawan, pagtatanim ng ating mga puno, pagsisigurado na walang tatapong maduduming tubig sa ating dagat. So, pangalawa yon. Pangatlo, kailangan masigurado natin na yung mga pangailangan ng tao ay masasagutan ng yaman dagat natin sa pamamaraan na hindi naman sila mauubos. Hindi ba? So, yung tinatawag na sustainable development. At isa pang mahalagang aspeto nito, masigurado natin na sa pagkita o sa pagkakaroon ng benepisyo na manggagaling sa ating dagat ay makikinabang yung ating sektor na nagpapakahirap dyan. So, yun lamang yung 4 na prinsipyo na aking pinapangatawanan. And that will, I guess, result into better management and sustainable development for our fisheries. And the important thing here is we also ensure that in attaining sustainable development, there is a sector of our society that is benefited, and that is our fishermen and those who are directly involved in fishing.
Oh, I don't think there's any set timetable. We need to be realistic about turning these things around. There's some really good information from the Philippines which shows that it can take 20 years to recover depleted fish stocks after you've established a no-take area. So it's not going to happen overnight. There's no quick fix. And there isn't any single fix. So we need a multi-pronged approach. Alternative livelihoods is part of the package. Aquaculture is part of the package. empowering people so that they can make local decisions, I think is critically important. The world is full of no-take areas and marine parks that have failed. Those have failed because local people haven't accepted them. So it's important that you get that local acceptance.
Kailangan siguro we have to strike a balance. Hindi ko pwedeng sabihin at this point in time na kayang isupply nung wild artisanal fisheries yung napoprovide ng aquaculture. Kaya dapat, kumbaga, eventually dapat ma-recognize mo, may value yung aquaculture kasi kailangan mong i-fill in yung gap sa ngayon. Kasi sa ngayon, mababa yung fish catch mo. Puro dikyapay na huhuli nila. Hindi yung pwedeng pigilan kaagad yung aquaculture. So, kailangan mag-strike ng balance. Pero para magawa mo kasi yun, dapat kailangan may cooperation, magtulog-tulog. Kailangan mag-usap-usap kayo. Uy, hindi, yung gagawin mo dyan, mag-i-impact sa akin. So, pwede ba mag-usap tayo para kahit papano mag-level off tayo kung anong dapat natin gawin?
Well, number one, hindi tayo papayag na masira pa ito ulit. Not under my watch. So talaga kung gagamitin natin lahat ng available resources of government to make sure that the coral reef are protected. Alam ho natin na mahalaga ang coral reef. Kung wala akong corals, wala tayong isda. Naipakita ko na napakalinaw ng relasyon ng dalawang ito. Hindi ho tayo papayag na maubos ang isda sapagkat 70% ho ng atin hong protina ay nanggagaling sa isda. So kung mauubos ho yung resources na isda, maapektuhan ho yung ating bayan. So gagawin po natin yung ating trabaho. Ngayon po, very specifically, meron na ho tayong dumating ho kasi ako sa Bureau of Fisheries. Ilan lang ho ang nagpapatupad ng batas at nag-aalaga ng ating dagat. Hindi na po ako papayag niyan. Kinakailangan po natin padamihin na ang nagpapatupad ng batas, palakasin ang kanilang kakayahan upang maalagaan nila. Hindi lang po ang corals, kundi ang buong yaman dagat ng Pilipinas. Meron na po tayong programa dito. Pinondohan na po ito ng Presidente at atin pong nakikita na tuloy-tuloy po yung pagsasanay nila. At syempre, time will come. Siguro give us 6 months from now and you will see these guys in action. And that will be the beginning of a thorough protection of our responsibility.